This conversation is taking place at the Grand Opera House.
We're talking with Senator Tom Carper, Delaware Senior Senator. This is an election year for you. Why 4 more years? Or 6 more years, I'm sorry. I thought you were running for president.
No. Actually, what we need in Washington, whether it's me or Mike Castle or Chris Coons or John Carney, what we need are bridge builders. People who are able to work with Democrats and Republicans, who understand the issues, who are just really serious about getting results, who understand how to help create a nurturing environment for job creation. Actually, we need more centrist Democrats and we need more centrist Republicans. And that's what I am, that's what I've always been. And I think I'm making a contribution. I've gotten to be not the most senior person in the Senate, but there's a chance I might end up chairing a significant committee if I'm lucky enough to be reelected and Democrats hold the majority. And I like to think I've had a chance to have a real impact already, and I think there's a chance that I could have an even greater impact. I would hope so.
If you had to pick one thing, what's the single biggest challenge to our American democracy right now?
Actually, in Washington, lack of trust. A lot of new people there. They don't know one another. We don't know them very well. Just a lack of trust. And one of the good things that came out of this super committee that was created last year, I thought it was not a very good idea, but one of the good things that came out of it is those 12 people, 6 Democrats, 6 Republicans, spent a lot of time together. They actually got to know each other, and a sense of trust and confidence came out of that process. While they didn't have in the end the tangible compromise that we could all embrace, they made some real progress in addressing some of the tougher issues that I think when we are ready to do the major deficit reduction deal, whether it's this year or right after the election, I think it'll be a better one because of their work.
Well, go back even before that. Wasn't Simpson Bowles the real key?
Oh, I'm the guy I've been a big supporter of the Deficit Reduction Commission, co-chaired by Erskine Bowles and Alan Simpson, one a Democrat, the other Republican. They proposed, over a year ago, $4 trillion deficit reduction plan for over the next 10 years. For every $3 that we would reduce deficits on the spending side, $1 of new revenues, not by raising taxes, but by broadening the base, eliminating about half of the so-called tax expenditures, tax breaks, tax credits, tax loopholes, eliminate a bunch of those and use that to raise $1, being able to actually lower the rates a little bit on the corporate and individual side. And in the end, we wouldn't have to cut the heck out of the entitlement programs, but some reforms we got, like in Medicare alone, John, there's $45 billion in improper payments last year in Medicare, just mistakes, overpayments. There's about $60 billion in fraud. In Medicaid, which is federal state program as opposed to Medicare, something like $20 billion in improper payments, overpayments. I mean, there's a lot of work that can be done before we have to worry about cutting benefits. We just run the programs in a smarter way. If you think about it, about the fraud costs in Medicare, about 10%. The fraud costs in private health insurance plans are 1%. And there's a lot of things that we can learn in Medicare that they're doing in the private sector to reduce fraud. They can learn from the credit card stuff, folks here in Delaware, really, who are very good at ferreting out fraud and going after it. So there's things that we can do. We don't have to savage people that are seniors or on Medicare or Medicaid. It's really smart things that we can do to get a better result for less money.
You're making quite a lot of sense. Why can't at least 50 others besides you see something like that?
I'll give you an example. The General Accountability Office, GAO, every year they report back to us what they call their kind of like a top 10 list of places where we're wasting money. They call it the high risk list. And for years on the high risk list has been improper payments, overpayments, mistaken payments, accounting errors, and so forth. In 2010, improper payments were, you ready for this? $125 billion, government-wide. That doesn't count all programs. A Republican named Tom Coburn from Oklahoma and I offered legislation signed by President Obama that says, number 1, all federal agencies have to report improper payments. Number 2, you got to stop making them. Number 3, if you've overpaid money or made mistakes, go out and recover the money. Number 4, we're going to evaluate supervisors in those federal agencies with how well they comply with this bill. Well, lo and behold, from 2010 to 2011, even though more agencies started reporting improper payments, the amount of improper payments dropped by $4 billion. In 1 year, $4 billion. So that's the kind of thing that we do. And we did it on a bipartisan base. Democrat and Republican senator working with a Democratic president, and got it done.
Thank you, Senator.
Oh, no, my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're connected with Content Delaware.